it's one thing to express in a vigorous way your opposition to a politician's policies. It's quite another to do this kind of thing and essentially ostracize people that you disagree with. And it's very dangerous because everybody's been warning, well, I'm afraid something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. Well, things have happened. They happened to Steve Scalise. They happened to the offices of the Family Research Council, which was the subject of a targeted shooting by a crazy person a couple of years ago. And they've now had death threats against people like Ajit Pai, the FCC commissioner, Lee Zeldin, a congressman whose headquarters in New York were just targeted this week. There was a crazy person who almost ran over a volunteer. Or Brian Mast in Florida, another congressperson whose children were threatened. It's out of control.
It's out of control, and the targeting is going beyond current members of government. I mean, you had Steve Bannon harassed at a Virginia bookstore by a woman, and then the owner of the store came to his defense, threatening to call the police. When the news of the incident got out, a former Hillary Clinton aide tweeted this: a woman saw Steve Bannon in a Virginia bookstore. She took the opportunity to call him a piece of trash. Nick Cook, the owner of the Black Swan Books, called the police. Then he gave the store's address. So, I mean, anybody who's getting even involved in supporting those people who are getting harassed are also getting harassed.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Maria, because what it shows you is that there are no holds barred. It's by any means necessary for the left, and it's not just elected officials, it's not just prominent people in TV, it's ordinary people who are caught in the crosshairs here. And you do not have Democrat leaders who are vigorously going out and saying, we need to tamp this down. You know, I remember during the 2006 and 2007 protests, again, focused on immigration, where things had gotten so out of control, and you had American flags that were being ripped down and burned, people talking about how much they hated this country. And there were image consultants on the left at that point that said, you know, we need to put a better face on it. And it seems like they haven't been able to keep the mask on.
I mean, what do they want? Do they want open borders? They don't want to have a structure of legal immigration? And they're not outraged at all at what happened at the top of the FBI during the 2016 election. Peter Strzok, the FBI agent who sent all the anti-Trump text messages while working on the Russia collusion probe, will testify in public on Capitol Hill this Thursday. This is going to be must-see TV, I think, Michelle. It comes after the closed session last week with members of the House Judiciary and Oversight Committees. Arizona Congressman Andy Biggs broke down exactly what the panel is going to be looking for. Listen to what he said on Sunday Morning Futures this weekend.
Well, don't forget that while he was sitting behind closed doors, he had two attorneys kind of filtering questions and answers. So there's a lot left to get to. And I think we're going to still go back and, talk about the biases, how he conducted the investigation. Don't forget the IG said he was the lead investigator on the Hillary Clinton investigation. He was the lead investigator on the Russian collusion, and then somehow he ended up on Mueller investigation. So there's still a lot of bone on that, a lot of meat on that bone regarding the bias and whether he actually was enacting some of that bias in his investigations.
Michelle, it's really hard to not connect the dots here. He took over the Trump. I mean, he was working on the Hillary Clinton and the Trump investigation side by side for a year. Then he takes over the official launch of the Trump investigation on July 31, 2016. 8 days later, on August 8th, he writes a text: "We're going to stop Trump from becoming president."
Yeah, you're exactly right. He is, Strzok, the center of the collusion universe. He's the center of that main constellation in that galaxy. And I think you're right. I think it will be must-see TV. I always manage my expectations. But what we're hearing from the committee members is that he was not as forthcoming as he should have been. But now he's going to be key things: under oath and out behind closed doors.
Yeah, that's true. And he's going on the record in public. But even so, House Intelligence Committee Chairman Devin Nunes wants to shine a light on all of the testimony and documents related to the Russia probe. He's asking for the president to declassify all of the related information. I actually asked the president about this when I sat down with him last month. Listen to this.
Any comments on Peter Strzok and these testimonies that we're seeing, Rod Rosenstein, Christopher Wray? Why don't you just direct your subordinates to get those documents over to Congress? Are you going to do it?
So I have this country running like a top. Mike Pompeo is doing great. We really have a great group of people. The one thing I want to stay uninvolved in, at least for now, I may get involved. Okay. But I've been told by so many people, don't get involved. You know,
Congress
other people got involved,
documents.
and it's not good. And they'll get the documents, and they're getting them, and they're great people. I didn't like the scene the other day where everybody's screaming at each other. You know, I don't like that because it's bad for the country.
What are your thoughts, Michelle? Devin Nunes still says he hasn't gotten the documents that he needs to see. He still thinks that there are documents before the official launch of the Trump collusion investigation, July 31. That's what he's looking for. Any evidence of, electronic communication or some kind of communication data around the launch before July 31.
Right. I certainly understand the dilemma that President Trump faces, and he's hearing all of that chatter in his ear about the optics of him getting involved. But I think that Devin Nunes is feeling what I think the most of the American people are feeling, is like, how long are we going to have to wait? And I think your question was on target, which is, why not just declassify all of that and stop playing all of these circus games of hide and seek on the disclosure?
Right, exactly. Well, we'll have to wait and see what comes out of Thursday. Michelle, it's always a pleasure. Thanks so much.